things are queuing up and just waiting for this to come through to make sure it's making it out to the different places we stream. And there we go. So welcome to Workflow Wednesday on March 9th. I can't believe we're already into March, and yeah, the world continues to change. There's so many things that are up in the air. But today, one of the things that I wanted to spend some more time in is really digging into what is ServiceNow. If you look at my YouTube channel, you are subscribed out there, right? You can go to youtube.com, search for Now with Troy, and subscribe to that channel. There's more content that I push out there, and all of it's focused on helping you get more from ServiceNow and really help expand the use of the platform and transform the world of work. Today, one of the things I want to spend some time on is digging a little bit deeper into what is ServiceNow. And on the title, one of the things I called it is looking at the layer cake. Through the years, ServiceNow has used different images and different things to describe their platform. It used to be the ServiceNow football. It was this elongated thing with all of the different capabilities spread around it. And you talk about how much of the football have you used. They've changed, and now they have a rendering, I guess you could say, that some have called a layer cake. And it really is just a visual to help you see the different capabilities of the platform, how they stack up and how they interrelate. And so we're going to spend a little bit of time going through that and talking about what is ServiceNow, what are the different capabilities. And I'm going to highlight some areas that we at Third Era are using ServiceNow as our platform of platforms to really be the centerpiece of how we do work. If you're looking for a ServiceNow partner, and we haven't spoken yet, we should, because we're continuing to grow. We're over 600 employees. We currently have more than 400 projects going, and all of those are focused on helping organizations improve the world of work and improve the experience both for their customers and their employees in how that world of work works. And so, make sure you reach out and we'll talk. The other thing we'll talk about a little bit is, while the video is good and I hope you enjoy this content, I'm super excited at the possibility of meeting people in person. And so we have live events showing up in 3 different cities coming up in Phoenix, Denver, and Kansas City. And so if you want to hear more about those, reach out to me. I'm easy to find on LinkedIn. But in Arizona, we're still waiting to hear. I didn't look at the news this morning to see if Major League Baseball has come to terms. And on March 24th, if we'll be enjoying spring training at the Sloan Park in Mesa, Arizona, or if we're going to pivot and do something different, likely a Top Golf. But we're doing something to get together in person to talk about ServiceNow, the world of work, and everything else. But the goal is no presentations, just great conversations. And that's true in Phoenix. Like I said, March 24th, pencil that in. In Denver, we're looking at April 13th. Going to go to an Avalanche game. And so, again, a fun chance to get together to talk about cyber attack surface and how your CMDB really informs what's happening in your organization and helps you understand the security threats that might go with it. Again, hang out at an Avalanche game in a suite with people that are trying to figure out how this world of work has changed. No presentations, just great conversation. And the last one that I'm helping out on is over in Kansas City. We're looking at a lunch and learn sometime towards the end of April. Still, that one's early in the planning. But if you're interested in getting together with some other people, looking at what does experience look like and how do we change how both our customers and employees experience work and how ServiceNow can be the centerpiece to that. We're looking for a lunch and learn to do that in Kansas City. And so again, reach out, and I look forward to meeting you in person. Love the video stuff, but in person is so much better. Look forward to that. So live events, you know how to reach out. Let me jump over and do this. So let's switch to a desktop, and let me put my little camera up here and switch to a camera so I'm actually looking at you. I'll block a little bit of the screen, but I should be able to zoom around so you can see it. Now at Third Era. So what we've done is, this is what can be called the layer cake. It basically shows different types of capabilities across the ServiceNow platform, split up into different regions, and then different capabilities within it. The blue sections are the sections that we're using today. and the green sections are things that are coming. So as you can see, as a small and rapidly growing company, we use a fair amount of ServiceNow. But what I want to do is kind of dig into this platform a little bit more. Let me see if I should be able to zoom. Let's see. I don't see a way to zoom. So I won't. I'll just talk about it at this point. I'll make a copy of this PDF available and post it on all the streams. So if you want a copy of this image, it'll follow after the stream's done. But if we circle back to last Wednesday, we talked about innovation and practicality from our other webinar. If you haven't seen our other webinars, go out and check them out. We've got another one coming up on the 30th. But we talked about innovation and practicality, how to balance that. And one of the rules that we talked about in that webinar and in the revisit last Wednesday is this concept of a 70-20-10 rule. Where should you focus your innovation? And the bulk of that really says 70% is the things that we spend most of our time on. We should spend on the things that matter. And so many leadership guidelines and other things focus on that, right? When you're trying to put all the things in your jar, put in the big box first. Well, that's true with ServiceNow and true with work automation. And so with ServiceNow, this corner off to the left over here is IT workflows. And that's really been the starting place for ServiceNow to really grow. And also it's the most common area, the biggest area that ServiceNow is used inside of enterprises is helping with the IT workflows, IT service management. And for us, that's really focusing on incident and request management. When something's broken, how do you assign that to the right team so you get a response and return service as quickly as possible? We're also using it for request. The two other key pieces inside of that are change management and problem management. Those core processes, and I always include knowledge when I talk about the core processes. It's incident, problem, change, request, and knowledge. Being kind of the core processes inside of that. Those focusing on that, not only standing them up, but looking at how can you continually improve those to deliver better value to the organization, which means, control IT so that you're not, inputting in changes that cause incidents. And when incidents do occur, quickly resolving them, identifying where there should be some root cause analysis done with problem management, and then documenting the heck out of it in knowledge management so that you can reuse that information, that it's not stuck in someone's gray matter somewhere. And so on the ITSM side of the house, that is a core piece of ServiceNow. And it should be an area where you're watching for ways to continually improve that. One of the things that we do a fair amount with is in analyzing and extending the configuration management database, the CMDB. Why? Because it is the interconnecting glue that helps you understand what are the different components in your organization and how are they stitched together or woven together, if you will, to create the services that you provide within your organization, as well as the service and capabilities you provide to your customers and clients. That glue helps really connect those different processes in the core of ITSM together so you can see the impact of the business and you can see which really matter. Helps you prioritize so much more. And so as you build out that CMDB, you can see that grow. And so as we extend kind of from the left side of this screen, you see ITOM, IT Operations Management, where we start looking at how can we automate that CMDB, pulling in discovery, pulling in event management, really coalescing the noise. So instead of having just unlimited streams of alerts coming from your different monitoring systems, how do you convey that down into something that's much more actionable? Inside of ITOM, there's a whole number of capabilities that do that. As we continue to move to the right, the next one is ITAM, IT Asset Management. And there, it's really where we change from having just a configuration item to an asset. And for some people, those are like fighting words. There is very nuanced differences between the two. And many will say an asset is an asset and the CI is a CI. Really, at the core of it, terms aside, A configuration item is something that we care about and we want to track. If there's going to be changes to it, we'd like to have some oversight, and that oversight might vary depending on the importance and impact that configuration item, an element in our CMDB, could have. But it doesn't contain necessarily financial information. And that's where asset management steps in. It says, for these configuration items that I have, what's the financial basis for me to track it? How much did I invest in it? How's it depreciated? And how long is its life? And so it helps you really track the financial value of each of your assets that are inside of your configuration management database. Lots of acronyms inside that sentence, right? But that's really where ITAM fits. Helps you look at both the hardware and the software to be able to optimize cost. If I continue moving forward, ITBM and ServiceNow is rebranded that, and so it's now being called SPM, but I didn't want to change this slide. IT business management has been a capability that has grown and grown and grown. You can see how that column is pretty highly stacked. And for our business, how we run projects and how we balance that out is of tremendous value. That's a core of how we work. And we use that internally as we also use it for our client-facing projects. Remember earlier I said we have more than 400 projects currently underway. Those are all managed within ServiceNow inside of SPM, Strategic Portfolio Management. That includes a whole number of different things, but the key is as you consider where could ServiceNow be used in your organization, do you have a process that manages ideation? There are concepts of, wouldn't it be great if we did this? Either that's an internal process innovation or whether it's something to deliver new value to your clients and customers. Capturing that and creating a process that can optimize innovation can be done. Many will say you can't processize innovation. As a patent holder, I would fully disagree. There's many ways that you can drive innovation. You can drive more intellectual capital and property. And you also can drive faster time to value in rethinking how you do things. And within ServiceNow, that's where demand management really fits. Being able to bring those new concepts in and balance and prioritize them is a key capability inside of SPM. As that goes on further, is really looking at how do you manage projects? And that can go from a whole number of ways of when you deploy things, which resources are on it, how do you optimize resources, and think about our business at Third Era. That's the key of how we deliver, is having brilliant people that know ServiceNow across the whole breadth of it, but being able to have them actively engaged in helping client organizations like yours get more from ServiceNow. We're using ServiceNow's SPM resource capabilities to help manage that. That includes tracking time cards and balancing out scrums and different sprints. And so there's lots of capabilities inside of ITBM. As I go over, you can see there's some areas that we're not using yet. DevOps, security operations, integrated risk management, and all of those are key things. Security operations and risk management, just because of my own background, are areas that I tremendously enjoy helping customers wrestle with. Because so often, looking at security operations when there is a breach or a possible breach, those are oftentimes isolated from those things that were over on the left-hand side, change management, incident management. ServiceNow brings that off of those other platforms. I won't name them, you know them. Brings them off of those other platforms and brings them into a place where they fit together and can integrate really well with IT service management. So again, that CMDB is that glue that helps us connect and understand we have a security incident here that's caused by a vulnerability here that should be controlled by some policies here from our governance risk and is impacting these risks that we're managing with inside the organization from an enterprise perspective. And so there's so many things that tie in together inside of those. As I continue to move on, the next piece is really look at employee experience, employee workflows. And that can span a number of different ways. If you haven't seen inside of the Rome release, ServiceNow went from the service portal to employee center. Awesome stuff. And That's where Third Era Digital, I'm sorry to keep bringing up Third Era, but we do so many cool things. Um, Employee Center is really taking a step back. In the past, on ServiceNow, we'd have custom portals for different audiences. Employee Center is a move to bring that into one place. So we have a one place to go to get information and help, to get service. It's the Employee Center. And that can span different departments. And that could be IT, HR, legal service, safe workplace, and really managing that capability in a seamless manner. Many organizations say, well, I have an HR solution. Why would I need HR inside of ServiceNow? And again, the common message that we hear with clients that are leveraging ServiceNow is their HR systems are great at maintaining the content, but they need a workflow. They need a way to assign work, to manage cases, to be able to track that from a request to completion, and coordinate with other departments as needed. Sometimes that's finance, sometimes it's legal, sometimes it's others, but it brings that capability on the platform to be able to tie those together. If I keep moving over, we move from employee to customer. And I always say customer or client, and if you want to know why, reach out to me. Love to have a conversation. Do you serve customers or clients? It's a subtle shift, but in my mind, dark place sometimes, but in my mind, which term we use helps shape how we think about those our business serves. For us at Third Arrow, we have clients in my mind. But inside of customer or client service management, ServiceNow really addresses how in this digitally transformed world do our customers ask for help? How do they get a glimpse of where they're at? Like for us with projects, we open up the content in service portfolio management for our customers to be able to see. They have a portal that can come in to find that customer information, ask for assistance. And that assistance, the key is it doesn't go from this into an email box, into a SharePoint list and other things. As it spans from the front engagement with your customers or clients through that front office, it goes to your middle office and the back office. And within ServiceNow, that work can be tracked, coordinated, and interrelated to be able to provide service. Now, extend that into ways that we can automate it. We're doing some pretty cool things with some of our clients on order automation. Call centers have turned into profit centers or revenue centers because as customers and clients turn to organizations over the last 2.5 years, it's not so much coming into a building. There's virtual interactions for us to interact with the business that we work with. CSM on ServiceNow gives us the capability to make it easier for your clients to get more help from you. And that could be order fulfillment from, requesting things, or it could be adding on additional services. So the lifetime value of your customers and clients gets extended. That's a huge piece inside of ServiceNow. The other section on there, if I continue to go to the right, is field service management. And that's where instead of IT, so remember we started on the left-hand side, looking at IT service management, how best do we keep track of requests to go out in the field to fix things? That could be driven by your IoT, seeing some early warning signs, knowing you have to do some predictive maintenance. Could be a customer calling in or using your customer portal to request for help with a device or a system that has gone down. Field service can help manage that. It can know the geolocations of it and coordinate the best use of your resources to make trips that not only go off and do the reactive fix, but at the same time can look at proactive things that can be done on that same route. The event that we're having in Arizona is with a company called CareAR. They're a fun partner of Third Era, and they do things in both customer and field service that extend that reach by using augmented reality. And so again, let me know if you want to come to that event. March 24th. Did I mention events in Arizona, Denver, and Kansas City? Reach out, let's talk. But with field service, ServiceNow ends up again being that glue to go from the front end request all the way to the back end with that shared knowledge and information of what things am I working on, how does that relate and what's the impact if that were to go down, both for internal services as well as customer services. The last two pieces are things that I call creator work, or ServiceNow calls creator workflows. To me, the goodness that comes out of this last part is undoubtedly within your organization, you have security teams. Those security teams and enterprise architecture teams, anytime they hear I'm bringing in a new app, bringing in a new technology, they have questions. On ServiceNow, that base foundation of that database that spans the entire enterprise, the security that goes over it with role-based access controls and all of that capability, as well as the user interface that goes on top of it, all of that can be vetted as the platform. And then as we extend to other needs, we can reuse that information with the right permissions, of course. But the creator workflows give us the capabilities to look at ServiceNow and say, not only am I going to use those things to the left side, but I'm going to use it to solve some very unique business problems. Those might be internal processes where you have multiple reviews and authentications and tasks that need to be done that you want to track through it. But it also can be solutions that you bring to your market. ServiceNow can be a key enabler for you to transform the way your industry works. Creator workflows in the App Engine let you do that. The App Engine can really be, in my mind, be viewed two ways. One is just like I described. It's a tool to create those solutions to really solve those big business problems that you're wrestling with. The other part is many organizations have very sharp employees that are looking to be able to solve their problems internally. This is the low-code, no-code solution. Inside of ServiceNow, in the App Studio, they provide that capabilities to very quickly create custom applications. And with some governance and some structure in place, there can be some things that you can instill in your organization to put in peer review and other things to really unlock your business users to be able to solve their own problems with ServiceNow as a platform. It's a low-code, no-code solution that many organizations are using to speed innovation. It's not hampered by the limitations of the staffing inside of IT. You're now pulling the business users that are comfortable creating their own applications inside of ServiceNow and leverage the data you already have in there. Down in the bottom, I'm not going to be able to spend much time on there because we're running out of time, but there's vertical solutions that we can bring in. There's workflows, there's AI, there's user feedback, and the data model, security and compliance, and administration. There's core capabilities on the platform. As we look at how we take all of this and you build into verticals, you'll see we already produced and deployed a telco vertical solution. But inside of financial, inside of other organizations, you'll see vertical solutions that are very focused on unique niche industry problems that leverage ServiceNow in a way that meets your industry needs. There's a lot there. ServiceNow is, let me turn off the desktop. ServiceNow is a large platform, and trying to digest that all yourself can and often seems overwhelming. But Third Era is here, and I'm here to be an educator and advocate to help you get more from ServiceNow. Reach out and connect with me if we haven't already. Subscribe on YouTube, and I look forward to another Workflow Wednesday with you. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.